Hi my loves, I'm Annie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm taking you with me to do a sew with me. It's one of my favourite projects from my book Upcycle, and it's to recreate this puff sleeve blouse from an old tee. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. Let's get into it. So I have found two white t-shirts stolen from my boyfriend. Now they both need to be oversized, so a couple of sizes bigger than you are. Mark where you want it cropped. Mine I've got sitting just on my waistband of my trousers, and just have a little play around about where that is. So once you've got your initial mark, you're going to need to extend that horizontally across the whole t-shirt to crop it. I made sure I did a couple of marks from the bottom of the t-shirt to make sure it's as level as possible. You can also double check this by doing some measurements from the armpits. You're then going to need to do another line 3 centimeters from the bottom of this line all the way across the tee. This will be your new hem, which eventually you will turn up to crop the t-shirt. Cut along this bottom line and you have cropped your t-shirt. Now you can overlock the edge of this, but t-shirts don't fray. So I'm going to go straight in and cut along those lines. Now we need to prepare the sleeves. So what we're going to need to do is cut off your original sleeves, so you essentially have a tank top. Cut as close to the original seam line as possible, but you're going to get rid of the bulk of the seam here, so you don't have to be too precise with it. Then we're going to eventually reattach the new sleeves and repeat this on the other side. And this is how the first t-shirt should look, sleeveless and cropped. Now to move on to the next t-shirt. So we're going to draw a line from under the armpit to the other side of the armpit, and we're going to use the bottom half of the t-shirt to make your new sleeves. I will be drawing a line in the middle and cutting this in half. For context, both of mine were 22 centimeters in height. Please don't forget to put aside any of the material you've got left over, because over here we don't like waste and you can use it for lots of different craft projects. Once your lines are drawn out, you're going to just cut along those lines to get both sleeves. So the next thing I'm doing is hemming the bottom of this t-shirt. So I'm just folding in from the line that we created and just pressing it. I can overlock it, but it's not going to fray. I'm going to just fold up the line that I created to hem the bottom of this cropped t-shirt, and then we're going to hem also the bottom of the sleeves to create a channel. So let's get into it. So there we go, that's that one. We've got a hemmed bottom and we're going to give it a sew. We've got our sleeve and we're just going to create a channel at the bottom by turning it over and hemming. And I'm going to do about 2 centimeters across the whole sleeve. I'm listening to a podcast and just in my own zone, so please recommend some podcasts if you do have any. But yeah, so as you can see, we're just giving it a little hem about 2 centimeters. We're going to do that the whole way around to create that channel. And we have a sleeve. So finally we're ready to get sewing. So we have our top and our 2 sleeves pressed and hemmed. We're going to scoot on over to the sewing machine. Let's get started. And the first thing I'm going to do, so not every machine will have this, but I'm going to select a stretch stitch just in case. I mean, the t-shirt itself is so big that really and truly using a normal stitch won't break. I'm going to go with a length of 3. So I've turned up the hem by 3 centimeters and I'm going to stitch at 2 centimeters so that all of the hem gets encased the whole way round. This is the hem. Really nice and easy, and as you can see, I haven't bothered to overlock the edge of that because it's not going to fray. Let's get onto the sleeves. So essentially we are going to hem, as I've pressed here, the bottom of this sleeve. We're going to leave a little gap because we're going to feed some elastic through, and we're going to do that before we attach it onto the main sleeve because it will just be a bit easier that way. So I've hemmed it by 2 centimeters. I'm sewing at 1.5 centimeters, and again we're just going in with a straight stitch all the way around, and we're going to feed a really thin elastic through the bottom. That's 1 centimeter thickness. Stitching meeting the other stitching. We're going to just leave a couple of centimeters gap. I need to leave enough to get a safety pin through to feed the elastic through that channel. And as it says in the book, so the next thing we're going to do is gather up this sleeve. Now it looks huge, but we want to create that real big like balloon sleeve. So when we gather it up like this, you can kind of see a bit more easily what it is we're trying to achieve. So 2 rows of gathering stitch here. Along this edge is going to be in the seam. The seam is going to be 1 centimeter, so we want to keep it really within that 1 centimeter. And to do that, that means we're going to have to do a long stitch. This is not going to be a stretch stitch. So that means what we have to do is go back to a normal stitch and make it as long as possible so we can gather it. The biggest length for mine is a 5. The 1 centimeter line, so it can't go anything over the 1 centimeter mark, which is here. So we're going to sew our first line. I'm just lining up to that line, and the second line I'll line a little bit further along. So once I've done my gathering stitches, this is what's going to look like: 2 rows of long gathering stitches. Apologies, the audio did not work here, but now we're going to cut our elastic, and this is the elastic we're feeding through the bottom of our sleeve to gather it up. So we're going to try that elastic on our arm, and we're going to feel where it feels comfortable on your bicep to sit. You're then going to hold it there, and you're going to just cut an extra couple of centimeters either side so that you can secure the elastic. And you're going to need to cut another length of this for the other side of your sleeve. Next, you're going to put your safety pin on the end of your elastic, like so, and you're going to use this safety pin to feed it through your channel that you created on the bottom of your sleeve. You push it in, and what I would recommend is just putting a pin on the end of your elastic at the other end so that it doesn't get lost within the channel, because that is the most annoying thing to have to fish out at a later date. You can then just feed through your elastic using the safety pin to do so all the way through the channel and back out the other end. Once you get to the other end, you'll pull out your safety pin and take it off the end of your elastic, and just tie a knot, double knot, to make it extra secure to feed that elastic back into the channel. Cut off both ends so that it's not too bulky, and then you can just pop it into the channel. I haven't filmed it, but you can just finish off that hemline as well, and for reference, this is what it will look like. Now to finish the top of the sleeve, we're going to be gathering up those gather stitches. So you're going to pull from one end the bobbin thread and just gather until your sleeve is the size of your t-shirt armhole. You don't have to be too precise because you can roughly do it, and then we're going to kind of attach it to the armhole and spread those gathers out nice and even. But this is what your sleeve will look like when both sides are nicely gathered. We're going to do this on the other sleeve as well, and then to stitch. So to attach the sleeves, we're going to get your original little cropped t-shirt, and we're going to just attach the edge that you have gathered right sides together to the armhole. What I would suggest is just turning it inside out around the armhole like so. You're then going to pin in place at intervals around the armhole so that it's nice and secure and ready to stitch. And as you go around, just make sure the gathers are nice and even all the way around the armhole, and this is what I'm trying to do here. It may take a little bit of time, but just try and make it as even as possible around the armhole. You don't want too many gathers at the front and not at the back. And now we are ready to sew. So I'm just taking off the extra piece here so that I can fit the arm around the sewing machine. And we're just going to stitch a 1 centimeter seam around the armhole, including the gathers. Try and be sure to not get any of the gathers caught so it doesn't create massive tucks. I would go slower if you think that it's going to get a little bit messy, but we're literally just stitching 1 stitch all the way around the armhole. Also remember to put it back to a normal length stitch here. And this is what it will look like on the t-shirt, and you're ready to do the other side. And here we have it, the final top. She's cute, she's easy, she was quick. The perfect transformation from a basic tee to something perfect for summer. But yeah, I think she's great. Literally, whenever I make this top, I just think, why haven't I got more in my wardrobe? What do we think, guys? Please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.